talk about energy storage, you've got to do it on a really massive scale, or you've got to do it on a small distributed scale where everybody's car, everybody's house is a small scale battery. Then you just have lots of batteries distributed everywhere. There are battery systems that would exist, for example, in a tractor trailer type structure that are used as backup systems, and that's part of the equation. The other part of the equation, though, is much higher levels, like 10x bigger than that and more. Things that can store a substantial amount of energy for, say, a power plant. And one such method is thermal storage, and this is something that many people have looked at. And thermal storage has the problem that when you store things as heat, heat tends to slowly percolate away. So as long as you're going to use it within a day or two, it can generally be a very viable method of storage. So then we start looking at how would we get the heat into the storage media and how do you get it out? So for thermal, the natural source is the sun when it's shining. And the approach other people have done is the following. Reflect the sun off of a heliostat to a receiver, typically up on a tower. The receiver has lots of little tubes in it, and I pump water or oil or molten salt through the tubes, back down to the bottom, and then put it in a tank. And when I need it, I pull some of the hot sauce out of the tank, send it to a steam generator. When it's done, it comes back into another tank, the cold tank, from where it's then pumped up to the tower and the process repeats. And this was originally done, back in the 70s, when this energy crisis back last century happened. And it can work. But as an industry person and as an old hot rod guy, I look at it and I say, wow, that's a lot of parts. And if any one of those parts goes out, you can be in trouble, so you better have a backup one. And then I also look at it and say, you know, could I design something like that? I'm definitely not that smart. All right, I just got to come up with something that a simple person such as myself can do that doesn't use any of these parts. So with that philosophy, the idea is that you have your mirrors that reflect the sun, boink, but now we're going to have the sunlight reflected directly into a tank that has salt in it. And the sunlight will penetrate the salt and heat it up. And inside the tank, you have a moving platform such that when the salt layer on the top gets hot, the platform moves down and there's space between that platform and the tank. And as it moves down, the cold salt that's below it oozes up the side to mix and get hot. And it'll keep charging or getting hotter and hotter and hotter. Meanwhile, off the top, you can now draw the hot salt off through your steam generator and right away put what's now cold into the bottom of the tank. So that's our approach, and we call it CSPonD, CSPonD, or Concentrated Solar Power on Demand, which means we've got a good acronym, which is also critical for sales.